Hello everybody, and how are you? My name's Iris Smith and I'm the owner of a small business in Mansfield called The Flower Patch. I hope you had all a good evening yesterday. I went to the choir and I loved it. I had a little message from Sandra when I was at my choir practice, but luckily we was on a break, so I answered her while we were on a break. We only get a 10-minute break and then we're back into the practicing. It's a 2 hour long, choir practice. So at 8 o'clock, we start at 7, so at 8 they allow us to have 10 minutes and then we get back into it. So I had to have a sneaky, look at if anybody's messaged me, because my phone buzzed in my pocket. It vibrated, so I thought, oh, let's answer it. So don't worry, Sandra, you didn't disturb me or get me into trouble. So please don't worry. Anyway, today I'm making myself a autumnal look hanging basket. I've got a hook at the top of my ceiling with some rope, and I hook it on so I can do it from the height at what I am. It's just a grey wicker basket, and I've already put in my 2 pieces of Oasis, just cut around the corners so it fits in to the shape. There is a couple of gaps here, but I don't mind that. It won't be seen once we've filled it. And I've put some white pot tape on down there and then across the other side, and just held it a little bit on the side so you won't see it. So let me go through what we're doing. And again, done it again. Let me move my chair. I can't help this. I keep forgetting. Like I say, I need a sign. Right. I've took some vine off of, picked some out off of my, lots of vine I've got hanging up in the corner from the ceiling. Right. I've got this, and it's I can't really tell what it is, but it's like a seedy look. But I don't mind. I thought with it being like a tanny colour, we're going to use some of that in it. I've also got some green vine out, 3 pieces I've just cut off instead of bringing the whole stem, because I should have cut pieces off, but I don't really know how long, but I want them. But on here I only wanted 3 small pieces, so I just brought some green out as well to add into it. I've also got some eucalyptus in orange on a vine that I have used bits of this, but I thought we could also have some of that dangling down from it as well. And to match the orange one, I thought I'll get green one as well. Let's have some silver dollar, eucalyptus vine as well in green, and maybe hang that as well. And I've also got some silver dollar eucalyptus on stems, that I want to place in, inside the actual hanging basket itself. So I've got some oddments on picks that I've added earlier, and I thought I'll put those on. I've also got some of these oak leaves that I also want to incorporate inside the basket. Maybe have a couple just hanging slightly over, but they are in a dark green. I didn't want all orange leaves, even though I've got a few, but I wanted to add green as well. And I've also, from the numerous, the chock-a-block bucket of my conifer, and I also want to, position those inside, and because they, bend over slightly, I thought we could also have some of those maybe sticking over as well. I've also got this one orange and green autumnal grass, which I think I want to put in the centre. And I also have got my orange fern as well, because I also want to incorporate some orange fern with a deep red at the bottom on the top as well. I'm not saying I'm going to use all of this. Again, I have to state that because it all goes, it all depends on the look once it's starting to form, whether I think it looks good or not. I've got a fern here, a green one. I've got some asparagus fern as well, because that's very airy. I also wanted to add a bit of softness into it also. I've only cut 3 pieces of these off of my big bunch, and just a few brown leaves to also put in on the top. I've got these out, my beautiful, lovely, wispy, swirly things. I don't know what they're called, but I may also incorporate bits of those. I've put some of these on picks, so I've got them already prepared. And I've got one orange sunflower that I also perhaps want to put in and incorporate it inside of the orangey grass. Oh my goodness, I'm throwing things over. And also I've got some orange delphinium. Now, because I've not got wisteria or anything hanging, I wanted something in a floral to also hang with the vine. So I've only got 3 pieces, and I will cut it but then bend it over and position it in there inside the oasis just to hang slightly over the side. And that is beautiful. Very bright, and also it's, you know, it'll lift from the deeper orange and give a bit of nice texture as well. And I've also these lovely things that I like. I'm going to just add a few of those in as well. Again, I've researched and I can't remember, because I know I have had these probably a year or two, and you know, on your mobile phone, and that after so long, you know, your history of what you've searched disappears. So I couldn't find where they're from, but I'm not going to let it, you know, stop me from keep searching. I will still search. I've also got these, just cut 3 pieces of the red. This is like a little, like, I don't know, wildflower daisy, I'm not sure. Just maybe also to hang over the side. I want to also incorporate red as well, not just orange. I want to incorporate red, orange and yellow. So we've got some of those as well. And I'm going to place them in the triangular position, hanging slightly over. I've also taken out my gypsophilia, which is quite bouncy and hangs over, and I also want to incorporate that. That is a beautiful orange in gypsophilia. I think it's stunning, and it's a rubbery texture as well, so I do like that. And I had a look in my oddments, and I found some bits of flower petals that wasn't on a stem, so I've added picks to each one by one, and I'm going to just put those in as well, and I think they are lovely. And I also found in my oddments box just 3 of these amaranthus, so I thought, let's get those in also. Let's use our oddments. And again, in my oddment box, I found some red poppy. So I've got a fresh bunch out in case there's not enough, but a deep red to also, you know, so it bounces off every colour, and you'll notice, because with it being dark. And I've got a lot of things out today. Like I say, I'm not sure how I'm going to, or how many I'm going to put in of anything. I've also got my wildflower with the yellow, with the deep black vein in the centre. And of course, you know it guys, some yellow calla lilies. I do have it in a different colour. I was debating what colours to add. If I just grab them. I've also got some oranges in there, in this bunch, as well as a red. So I'm not sure, if I think there's the yellow's too bright, I may grab some out of this bunch as well. So I'll keep those on here just in case. So that is what we've got to use for my vine. It's going in the front garden. Well, in fact, on the other side of here is my front garden. It's going in the corner, hanging off of my workshop, just next to the path as you go up to my door. So that's where it's going to be situated. So let's get started, everybody. I'm going to put in this dark brown to start with. because I want to move it out of the way because it does tangle with everything else. So I really do need to get it out of my way, if I'm being quite honest. Now this stem is was on a bunch. The only wire it goes is up to there. The rest it just hangs down. So I may have to attach if I don't want them that long, because they are quite long and I don't want them hanging too far down. I may have to attach a pick onto it. So in fact I think I will end up doing that. So I'm going to cut off a little piece like that. See, I don't want it any longer really. I may have the odd bit slightly longer of the others, but on this I don't want to. So let me just get my brown floral tape. I'll keep the green out as well in case. And I'm just going to, oh, this is in way, isn't it? Just put the pick on there, and then just put my corsage tape around it and just tape it on. So then I can put it into the oasis without, you know, any problem thinking that it may fall out, because they are quite, you know, heavy when they droop over. So with them being that heavy, I don't want to allow it to, you know, drop out. So let's get and make sure this is really secure. There we go. So I'm just going to cut off some of the pick. I hold it with two hands like that, so this doesn't droop in my glue when I'm putting glue on the stem. So we're going to put one here, like that. So I'm going to get another one. This one looks quite smaller. So let's cut this one off. I'm only putting three of them in. I don't want any more. So because that's there, so say like that to you will be 6 o'clock. Then here is 10 to. Just bend it over. See if I could get another one. Probably not. No. So I'm going to do one slightly smaller. If I just cut it. And I'm only going to have a smaller one. I'm trying to do them at all different sizes, or lengths should I say, and put them on. So let's get this one taped on also. I want to go, once I've gone down, I'm going back up to give it just that extra strength. Because I don't, you know, I don't want it to fall out again from where I put the tape on, with it being quite heavy. And Jenny, I know I've received your message this morning, darling, concerning what do I hang my wreaths on when I do a craft fair. I haven't done a craft fair yet. I haven't needed to as much, but I have been considering it. But I do know that oh, let me just straighten those out, guys. I do know that I have got some wreath stands that I bought in a bulk of, I think it was 5. I have given one to my friend who's a fresh florist because she didn't have any. And I do have hooks, like if you have a gazebo and you've got a framework around your gazebo, buy some hooks to clip over the frame and hang your wreaths from there. If not that, get like a wired steel mesh to what you can attach to the frame, you know, the legs of the gazebo, and hang them on there. There's not many craft fairs where I live. You have to quite travel for them. And plus they're always at a certain time of the year that I may be too busy and I can't attend. So that's our 3 in the brown. And also, Jenny, I know you said, why don't I bring the camera to the side? I've had a go at it this morning before we started, and it just doesn't get in, and I'm having to stand like this, which then I find awkward because then I have to turn around and dip my glue. So I'm sorry, but this is how I will stand and how I feel, you know, more comfortable about it. I have tried, my darling, but it just doesn't work because the way the room is placed out. So also I want to incorporate, in fact I might hold on to those because they're very similar to those. So let me put those to the side as well. So I want to incorporate, you know I've got the eucalyptus, but I've got it in orange and green. Right, now this I'm going to cut like that. Anything that I see what doesn't look right, or any prongs, I will take off. I just have to check first. There. Now, because that looks now like a stem, because it's on one of the main stem, I am going to also bend, oops, one's fell off, bend this over. Oh no, I can't see where that's fallen off from. Well, I can't even find the prong for it. So I'll leave that out. And again, because these are also wired, I can manipulate them to face in a direction so you don't see like the underside of them. So I want to just basically place those like that. So again, dip it into your glue. And I'm going to go in between, in the centre of the browns. And just bend it so it's hanging. And maybe manipulate it in different positions as well. And I don't want this as long as the brown. Oh, it's quite a tough stem. And again, I'll do the same. Let me just take the prongs off as well. And then manipulate the leaves so they're facing the way that I'd like. And this one is a shorter piece as well. Again, I want to have different lengths, and I'm putting this also in between the brown, fine, what's already in. And then one more. And this is just like just one piece on its own. Take that prong off. Let's have a look for some more. I hope you can see. I mean, I can turn it around while it's on here. It's not going to do any harm. But I'm going to do the same with this. Just bend it slightly and have that also hanging. You haven't got to always have a great big bush you know, of it. You could, just like I'm doing, have one singular stem. And that is how it's looking at the moment. So now we've got our green eucalyptus vine, which I'm also going to do a similar thing. If I don't want to add that, I have got plenty of other. I may put ivy in. I have got actually one with yellow on. In fact, let me just grab it. I may use that. Oh gosh, my husband's put this rail quite far. He's put it right to the top of the ceiling. I have got this as well. This has got yellow in, so I may actually incorporate the yellow as well. So let's put that in first, because I might not use that eucalyptus now I've remembered about this. Gosh, you see, here I go, changing my mind like the weather. Let's take that piece off. This is ruscus, hanging ruscus, apparently people call it. But I was told it's just a, you know, a ruscus and that's it. So, I mean, I researched and there's no such thing as a hanging ruscus, it's just ruscus. So, we will put this piece in. And this is slightly going to be longer. And I'm going to sit these, you know, and we're probably just going to have the odd ones going around in between, just to set off the orange. So we'll place that one in there. And that one can hang like that. I'm sorry if I'm standing to this side. It's just that because of the vine hanging, I need to stand slightly away. And I've just cut this piece off. I can also just incorporate a little piece in as well. So this one's going to be small. I'm going to go like how I've done there, next to the brown, then one next to the eucalyptus, then next to the brown. So I'm going to have little pieces in so it doesn't look like we've got too much of this. But first of all, I'm going to do these like this. Again, just like that. So with this little piece, because this now where I've cut, it's got no strength in it at all. So I will have to put on some floral tape in green because the stem is green, and do the same thing. Just tape it on and use it to cover up the stem and also give it the strength. I've just realised I'm matching the colour scheme again today. Gosh almighty. I just got out because it's a nice day again today. We are going to get rain on Sunday, so the heat wave will have ended, and next week the temperature is going to be dropping to around 16 degrees centigrade. So that's what it states on the weather forecast. So back to his original weather. So with this small piece, I will place it here. Oh, it is. They do tangle up, these vines. I don't want it that long again. So I'm going to cut off and put another small piece in and have that on that side. So let's get our tape again. Oh, I can hear a van. I hope that's not a delivery for me. I can always tell when there's a delivery van because the door slides on the vans that come here on the side. I've already had one delivery this morning again. So we'll put another piece in. a smaller one, and we're going to place that also in there. And then we'll put this one in, because this is already on its main stem. And we'll have that there. So one more piece, which is going to be a smaller piece. I'm cutting it where the next node is, which basically means where the next leaf comes away off of the main stem. Oh, that's my house. One moment, guys, a delivery, I think. Sorry about that, guys. It was my delivery. When I told you the other day I'd ordered some more aspidistra leaf ribbon, that's what it is. There's my green, and then I said I was getting a red. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And it is called Eleganza Poly Aspidistra, and it's waterproof, and it's 50 yards if you need to know the name of it. So there you go. So if you need to purchase some, that's what it's called. Right, let's get this one back on. And hopefully we don't get disturbed now. Sorry that you can't see, it's because I think it's the way I've positioned the camera. I wanted you to mainly see here, because the main part of the basket, you'll be watching me doing it from the top. And you can't see the full length of the hanging. I've had a look when I paused the video, and you can't see down below here. But I will show you as I lift it up for you. So this is the last one of these going in. Oh, where did I... Here. And I'm wiping off any excess glue that I can see around the stem. So if I lift it up here, that is how it's hanging around the sides of it. So there's quite a bit hanging. So I'm not going to use any more of that either. So put that there. Let's have a look with our eucalyptus. It may be too much. Oops. That's the problem with the baskets, because they do manoeuvre. Now then, I don't know. I'll hold on to it, guys, because we have got quite a bit to go in. And before we carry on, I'm going to put these delphiniums in to hang over as well. So I'm going to cut the stem. Let me just check the leaves. Yes, they fray, so I'm cutting those off. I'm not going to incorporate those. And what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to just bend the stem at the top and have them hanging, as you can see, like that, to give it that bit of colour and floral. And I'm going to place these the same in the triangular position. So as you look, you will see from here 6 o'clock, 10 to and 10 past, if you think of it like on a clock. And that's how I place them to balance them out. So we'll start here. Let me just see where it stops. I think here. So I'm going to place that one quite far down, because they are long. Let me just remove the glue off of my hands. So there is what you have. with the delphinium hanging. They're very much similar when you get the wisteria. They look very similar. So that's hence the reason I thought let's get the delphiniums in. And especially because I've got this bright orange. So again, oops. They're very tough, the stems. And I'm not doing all these the same size either. So I'm just going to bend it like that before I glue it and place it in. So it's already at that angle. So there's your 6 o'clock. Then I want 10 to, which is around here. Push that quite far in as well. Remove any glue. If you don't have any tape, pot tape to go over the top, you could always use, if you've got a chicken wire, place that over the top in a circle and attach it with around the top of here, and just tuck the sharp pieces underneath so they don't scratch anything or your handle when you handling them. And then that will also hold in your oasis. So then I'll cut this one about there. And again, I'm going to bend it. Let me just cut that little bit off there, what's sticking out. And now this one will be placed at 10 past as you are looking at it. Oops. So that'll be around here. And again, this is to balance the look of it out. So then that's how it is as you look at the hanging basket around. So you have got colour now hanging from your basket, and it's not just vine or greenery. I'll save these because these will come in handy again. Like I say, if you've lost heads on your flowers, they will be perfect. Right, we're going to put in some of our oak leaves. Now, I can cut these down if I wish, smaller, but again, I'm going to have these just hanging, going over, not down. I could put them down, I may even want to fill some in with these, but at the moment, they are just coming out, because this will probably be quite a full basket. I do state that a lot of hanging baskets are usually full. So we'll have this one and place that there. Again, like I say, just popping out to the side. And let me remove that glue before it dries. I may just slightly bend it a little bit more. And that is how that is looking. With it being dark, it really bounces off of your delphinium. I always say if you have bright coloured things, if you want them to bounce off of each other, always try to incorporate something dark. And again, I'm going to just put 3 of these in, no more, because we have got a lot of things that's still yet to go in. And I'm doing this again. I'm going to go opposite where I've just placed that. Wipe the glue off. That one. And then the other one I will bring here. If I wish I could have put 4 in, but I'm trying to stick to the odd numbers. So then this one will go here. Oops, daisy, I've got it all stuck. Right, let's just move that one over there. So that now is our oak. I'll save those and I'll put those here because I may use those as well again. Like I say, just to go under here. There's quite a few different things I could use to place under here. That's one of the reasons that I'm not going to fill it with vine, because anything like your conifers, you know, or even your ferns, oops, could you also, if you wanted, to go underneath. So let's put in our conifers. Now I'm going to use 5 of these. I'll put that on the floor as well. And because they come quite close together like that, I like to just manipulate them so they spread out and do that. So then it's giving you more, you know, like a fan shape really, if you can see it like that once it's in your basket. So because we've got those there, I'm going to place, like, I have to remember how, you know, the position for yourselves. So there's going to be 1 here, then 10 past, then 20 past, then 22, and then 10 to. Always think of it like a face of a clock. So this one, and I'm having them sticking slightly up, again, because it's going to be full. Let me just get that glue off my fingers. So then it's just like that. And I'll do the same and part them all again. So there's your 6 o'clock, then 22. And then I'll place one here. Quickly move the glue. Just slightly bend it and fan it out. And then now we're going to place it at 10 to. That's one of the ways I was taught when I was doing flower arranging. Always when you position it, think of it like the face of a clock, especially when you're doing your odd numbers. So here is around 10 to. So we will place that one there. And just fan those out as well. And now 10 past on your clock. And if you can remember that, you know, like thinking of it like a clock, you can't place them wrong. And if you wanted to do it in even, then you'd put one at 12 o'clock as well. And then 20 past. So that is how it's looking from the top. Excuse the chain. And around your sides, and how it's filling in around the side of it. So I'll put that conifer there, that bunch, because if I want to, I could put some in the centre, you know, just 3. In fact, that might look quite nice. So let me get another 3 pieces. Again, I'm working in the odd number. I won't need no more after that of these. And I'm going to place 1 here if I just position them. So it'll be, in fact, let me do it from like your clock. So I'm going to place 1 here, then 1 at 10 to. This is going further in, and then the other one at 10 past. So then it's a triangular position in the centre. You could bring them in closer, you know, you can have them as close as you like or near each other. Each to everybody's own preference. So I'm going to place that there, and I'm not going to lean it over. I'm going to allow it to stand upright. Well, it's got a slight bend, but not a lot. Oops. Yeah, that's the only thing with these, they keep moving. But we don't mind. Just slightly bring that up right a bit. Oh, thank you, hubby.
You're welcome.
How are you?
Okay.
Super. And then I'm going to place this one also here. So now we have those all placed in, let's just spread that a little bit. That. And do the same there. So again, now the position, again, excuse the chain everybody, I need to have it up, but that's how it's placed in with that. So let's get some orange in the centre as well. Oh, in fact, before we go on to the fern, let me put this in. So then I can position that in the centre, and I do want my orange sunflower to sit as well with it. So let me see, that pushes up. Don't know what that bit is. Does that push up? Oh yeah, it does. Silly me. I need to try and, this will be positioned next to it, but I can manoeuvre the head to make it look like it's growing out of the leaves. So first of all, let's get that in. And these are very bulky stem, so I'm placing that directly in the centre, and I'm going to, you know, position it through where the chains are so it's not all just hanging on one side. I'm going to move them either side of the chains so it looks like a bit of a fan, if I can show you that. It's hard to see with the chain. I'm ever so sorry guys. Now let me check the leaves. Yes, they fray for some reason, so I'm not having those on. We don't want to devalue sort of look, even though this is for myself. If I have customers come in and they spot it, I don't want them to spot, because I did have people come and they look at some of the artificial flowers I have got outside and they stand there and have a good look. So I don't want them to think, you know, oh, you know, she's just not done it to the professional standards for herself. Oh, I do. I'm just as picky. Right, I'm going to place this just here alongside and just slightly in the centre. So it looks, if I move those like that, so it's incorporated and it looks like it's in the centre of the grass. I don't want to go any, right up here because it will touch there and and I don't want that. So now that's that. Let's get some orange fern in. This is a beautiful colour with the red in it. And I'm going to place these, where I put the 3 in the centre, I'm going to place 3, just in there as well. So they are hanging at a similar height and position to what the conifer is in the centre. And I will place some, perhaps around the side. And one here. I'm not putting them in too far down because I do want them to be seen amongst the floral. Early finish for my hubby today. I thought it was a bit odd. I thought we were still in the morning. And then I'll place the other one there as well. And you can twist the leaves around if you think that they're not positioning how you'd like them. I don't mind sometimes how they position, because I try to do it as natural as possible. So there we have those. Let's see if I bring some. Oh God, it's tangled up. Because we've got these in between here, I don't want another one below it. I want to position it, where that is in between these 3 in the centre, like I did that. So now with these, I will position below that. So let's just get 3. Again, I'm not using 5, even though I put 5 around the edge. I'm just sticking to the 3. See, that one's quite bent. You can't manipulate it because it's not got wiring, so I tend to try and just, push it away from where it's bending to see if I can manoeuvre it back. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. But again, it's the natural look of ferns. We've got ferns what go like that, so I know it's okay. Because again, I like to try, look at my garden and see how plants I've got growing and hopefully manipulate what